Let's take a look at the newly released R package called ellmer. Hi, my name is Arhan Chaudhary. I've been programming in R and Python for the past few years, and when I came across this ellmer package, I was quite excited. It allows a user to interact with some of the modern large language models without doing a lot of messing around with the API. Working with APIs can, in some situations, be a little bit complex. What ellmer does is make that situation much easier. What ellmer does is make that process a lot easier, particularly for beginners. For this run through today, I took a look at one of the TidyTuesday datasets, specifically the TidyTuesday dataset that was released on Jan 14th. This is a text-heavy dataset, which makes it ideal for working with some of these large language models. This exercise, I took a very, very small sample of the larger dataset. I took only the 2024 dataset. This dataset is information regarding Posit conferences from 2023 and 2024 in terms of their titles and abstracts. I took the 2024 dataset and only looked at the lightning talks and specifically took out any of the lightning talks that did not contain an abstract. Fairly small dataset, about 8 rows in total. And this is what the dataset looks like. There is a talk title, which I've called human talk title, and a description, which I've called human description. This is all human written text. The presenter here talked about what their topic was in broader detail, and also provided a title for the upcoming text, for the upcoming talk. And this is quite a good use case for comparing with AI-generated summaries. Some of the LLM tools are really good for making summaries. For example, the full description of the abstract is 56 words, whereas the title is 15 words. So this is sort of like a summarization exercise. There's the raw data. And here's what I've done with ellmer to work with this data set. I created 2 functions. The first function is a fairly basic one. I asked the GPT-4o from OpenAI, that model, to give me a straightforward summary in under 15 words. This is a very common use case for a lot of these LLMs nowadays. And for my second function, I created a slightly more advanced prompt. I asked it to create a compelling headline in under 15 words. Again, fairly straightforward, but a little bit more geared toward this specific exercise at hand. A title is not just simply a summary of the abstract. It is, in certain situations, geared towards attracting an audience towards that particular presentation. And once I have this function, this is a pretty straightforward function in R. Once I have this function, I apply that function to the data frame. I use a simple mutate function applying this. And anyone who has coded in R for any length of time should find this very, very familiar. It is a pretty straightforward chain, straightforward pipe chain. And it takes the data frame and modifies it by applying the basic summary function to it. And here's what it looks like. I have the human written title on the left and the AI written summary on the middle. I'm not going to go through all of them, but when I looked through them after running this function, I found that the AI summary was okay. It looked very similar to the human responses, but in some situations they were a little bit garbled, a little bit disjointed. For example, there's a semicolon here and then learn how to join, which seems a little bit off key for a talk title. And for example, this AI generated title is a little bit more wordy than the human one. And because this is such a small data set, I decided to take a quick look at diving into these one by one using just simple Excel. So for example, this is the straightforward summary. This one, as I mentioned, was a little bit disjointed. This one has more words. The original author had written the word bridging, which is very nicely done, which AI did not use words like that. Overall, for the 8 examples that I have here, I would say AI didn't do much better job than humans did in any of these situations. However, with a slightly more advanced prompt, I'm not looking for just a summary. I'm also looking for a compelling title. It came up with a few new things that I did not quite anticipate. For example, in the Rainbow R presentation, it used the word join, presumably calling from a word activism that was mentioned in the abstract. The word join was not mentioned by the human presenter. Another example is below. For mastering or a teaching guide, he used the word practical guidance, which again, I think has a bit of a call to action that the human presenter did not write in. And I think another example is use the word automate. So overall, I think going through all of these examples, in my opinion, AI did a better job than humans in 3 out of the 8 situations, and 5 of them human did a much better job. So I thought I'd make this a quick exercise of using ellmer. So I learned quite a lot about how to use ellmer. If anyone's interested, the full code is in my GitHub repository that I have linked in the description. This full code for generating this is available in GitHub. And also, I learned quite a little bit about how AI, quote unquote, thinks. I asked it to make a compelling title, and it did so in some surprising ways. I did not fully expect to see some of those words in the titles, and there's a bit of a good learning exercise for me. I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions, feel free to write your comments in the description box below, and I look forward to interacting more with both ellmer and the R community on this new library. Thank you.